Like feels like it's Connie's job. It's only a matter of what's going to surround Connie.
I'd
Which
like
is
with
kind
you.
of
I
go
Isn't
back
that
to
isn't that more confusing than just naming him? Like, I honestly, to me, it makes me question things more. Like okay, let's go back to the start of this because so the plan, the true plan was to bring everyone back in the same capacity and just continue on, right?
because Tree
That
had the
was the
extension.
plan.
Yeah.
Tree
That
had the
is
offer. Mr. Treliving said, I don't want this pile of poo.
I'm good.
I'm good. And said, thanks. I'm out. Somebody else, feel free to start walking in this.
Yeah.
And there was no other. And we're okay with this. And optically, we're going to give Maloney because that looks like it is. This just looks ridiculous, does it not? Am I being too harsh?
Well, and so Maloney in the press conference literally has to like stop himself. He's from welling up when talking about Treliving leaving. Like they're clearly they were running mates
Right.
in terms of everything. Not to mention that, of course, Don would have hired Brad back in Arizona, as you alluded to. Yeah.
Is that not odd that he stayed?
Well, so my theory is that this was a Brad versus Daryl thing, and that Brad wasn't going to return if Daryl was. And when Brad wasn't given, the autonomy to say, I'm the GM, I don't want this coach back, that he said, okay, I'll see you later. But what it leaves is equally as confounding, because if Brad was having issues with dealing with Daryl and he's got a similar philosophy on the game to Don, why won't Don clash with Daryl? And then
why
they come in
ain't
and
Don
say,
walking if his buddy's leaving
yet.
and if his and
Yeah,
if
the
his
coach review
buddy's
isn't done
seeing
yet.
the same.
You got to do that still. And so if you're the owner that wouldn't let Brad get rid of the coach, are you suddenly letting this quickly invented president of hockey ops job that now all of a sudden he's going to be able to do it? Or is now Don going to go to the owner and say, I'd like to fire the GM, and the owner says no? Like it all reeks of dysfunction.
And to me, if they just end up now giving it to Conroy, it looks as janky as we say it is. Because if they come out, it's unbelievable. Steve Yzerman showed up on our doorstep, and thank goodness we did our due diligence, as we feel we have one of the best general managers in the game. I got to think it's a 99% that it's going to be Craig Conroy. So if you do that and interim, and we're going to go through the whole thing, and you make Conroy jump through these hoops and then just announce him, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. And look, if it was a really functional environment that was going to offer autonomy to the GM, I think there would be a lot of value in going out to see who the best people are elsewhere, and maybe even just getting an audit saying, like, look, what have we done wrong here? But it doesn't feel like this owner wants to evaluate how he does things. It's status quo, and we're not changing it. So I don't want, Tulsky to come in and tell me how to run the organization. Connie knows how it works here. He's going to be the guy.
Yeah, and as far as Maloney is concerned, I get that he and Brad have the relationship, and maybe they're like-minded. And like you said, when guys work together, even if there's going to be some differing of opinion. But if Maloney were not here, they would have no one really with any extended NHL managing experience
beyond AGM,
right?
Yeah,
that's the thing Maloney does have, is he's been a GM, he's been an AGM, he's done it for literally decades.
Yes.
So for what that's worth, he's gone through a lot of the processes that you would have to right now.
Yeah. And even naming him president versus just saying Don Maloney's going to spearhead our GM search. Interesting. Because, I mean, we've seen this president position exist and then disappear again. And, they don't like spending more than they need to around here. And if Don Maloney is the same guy he was a year ago, or months ago, making AGM salary, I would think this is a bump if it's a real president of hockey ops. Like, it's a lot of the same.